Marcus. I suppose the DUP are doing exactly what they said they would do in their elections, and that is to not form an executive in Northern Ireland until the protocol is sorted out. You can't blame them, really.
Well, there is no doubt that we have to sort this situation out for the sake of harmony in Northern Ireland. The reality is that the EU hasn't been reasonable in terms of its willingness to think about how the protocol can evolve according to the terms of its own agreement to smooth these matters over. And so we do have to look at what we can do to make that right.
It's interesting looking at the situation as a whole. The protocol was conceived as a notion to try and uphold the Good Friday Agreement. Yet the government is now arguing it's the protocol, that very protocol, that is in effect undermining the Good Friday Agreement. In your view, do the Americans, who have got themselves involved in this now, and the Europeans understand that's a genuine concern?
I think in some quarters there's perhaps a lack of understanding that the Belfast Agreement is very clear that the East-West strand is just as important as the North-South strand in terms of relations between the different communities within Northern Ireland. And so it does matter that a constructive approach is taken to looking at all options to minimise any restrictions on trade and traffic between that east and west axis. So it is very, it's been disappointing to see that the EU hasn't been willing to contemplate things which are very much envisaged by the agreement itself.
So if the EU continue to not contemplate not moving beyond the mandate that they gave to Maroš Sefcovic in his negotiations with Liz Truss, if they simply do not budge from their pretty hard-line position, what does the UK actually do? And are we really ready to absorb the economic impact of potential trade sanctions in response to our action?
I don't think there would be any grounds for retaliatory response on this by the EU, so I think that they would be acting illegally if they did so. The reality is that what we're talking about is a very reasonable evolution of the protocol itself, very much within the spirit of it. And importantly, from a trade perspective, it wouldn't make the EU any worse off. So there's just simply wouldn't be any justification whatsoever for any economic damage to be inflicted on the UK because of it, because there wouldn't be any economic damage to the EU or to the Republic of Ireland through this process.